It's live, pal. You see the sensational news item that we got here today? The reason why I'm streaming tonight at 11 p.m. is because I needed to stream about something, and I gave you the big. Is this even worth it? Shadow Force, what's going on? Because I was thinking all day, what kind of cover? What can I do that I haven't done already? Do I wait for the Monday drop for Thunderbolts? No, I covered Thunderbolts already. I don't need to cover Marvel that much, but there was a Monday drop, significant, 70% was it? 71% drop from Sunday to Monday. I don't know how effective the new Avengers changing the title will be. I still think it will have some effect, and maybe we'll hear about that later. But I would rather talk about Shadow Force, bro. I would rather talk about the movie with Omar Sy, and I'd rather talk to you about Kerry Washington. Let me open up the trailer for said movie. It's on the side right there. Let's do this view. Ew, that's not a good view for movie trailer reactions. Better. Let's start.
Cold shot. Show me what you got.
Cold shot. So they got nicknames. And this is a reaction to the trailer because before my challenge of, oh, yo, I'm going to stream every single day and I'm going to go live all the time and I'm going to be a great content creator and just be a weekly, regular, scheduled. Before I had that thought and I'm doing this reaction, I thought, no, since I know I'm going to watch this film instead of just doing a trailer reaction. And, I'd rather just go to the movie theater, be surprised, and enjoy everything for the first time. Nah, bro, I need content. So here we are. Trailer reaction.
That was amazing.
Good shots.
Don't be mad. I was always a better shot.
No,
Yes.
never.
What?
Come on, Dad.
There isn't a distance you can travel or a hole dug deep enough where I can't reach you.
I can't help but feel a little flattered.
You want to keep running all your life, life that's getting shorter by the second.
Mark Strong.
We're being tracked.
Pockets loaded, rocket loaded, king, let's rock and roll this. Time to go, lock, stock, and two smoking barrels. Rock and loaded,
You got us straight.
You think I'm jumping out the window? I got a moment.
Well, they're proficient with weapons, and they are a family. We saw a little boy there. It's a unique take on. Well, it's not unique. You know what makes it unique? That the family skin is dark. Every other thing, though, we've seen these types of movies before. Government agencies, but now they want to turn on them because they know too much. I saw a movie, Jamie Foxx and my girl, Uma Thurman, was it? Jamie Foxx and somebody. They just did a movie recently where they were doing this on Netflix. Back in action.
8 years ago, I recruited these two into a unit.
Didn't I just tell you that 8 years ago I recruited these? Yes, you see, I told you. That's exactly what the plot is.
8 years ago, I recruited these two into a unit known as Shadow Force. We
Shadow
did God's dirty work around the globe. We have to send now. We cannot do this anymore. Shadow Force came with one ironclad rule. No one leaves.
I came, I saw, I praised the Lord, the great, the Lord.
I'm not going to live in fear anymore. We are the hunters now.
Then we need help.
We are the hunters now. We are the hunted now. Well, did he say hunters or hunted? Either way, it's an homage to I'm the captain now.
We are the hunters now.
We are the hunters now, he said. That's kind of funny. I'm sort of liking what's going on. And like, if this wasn't a trailer reaction video or a commentary on Shadow Force, I would have probably paused it there and would have said, I like what's going on with this movie. While I don't want to associate these melanated faces here of Omar Sy
Then we need help.
and Kerry Washington and while I don't want to associate these faces with guns, I can compromise here and there. There are certain things I'm willing to go, well, it's not perfect, but what they're accomplishing by having this movie happen is like offering just a story not based off of oppression. We don't go back in time historically. There's not going to be a Klanman show up here, Ryan Coogler. I don't think anyone of these two parents are going to die. I would hope they don't die. I hope we complete the family. That's probably the goal of this. Most movies have happy endings, so all three will live to the end of the movie, kill Mark Strong's character, and we have a great time 2 hours at the movie theater, except the family was black this time in the spy family movie thriller stuff. Action packed, it's going to rely on action. and it's not going to rely on stupidity. So I guess for that reason, I guess I'm for it. But I would stop watching this trailer if this was a real trailer reaction. If this was a not a trailer reaction.
Auntie and Unc are gunning for Cinder.
We can burn his
Now,
ass
if you're a
down.
fan of Wu-Tang, if you know who this dude is, that's probably going to bring you into the movie theater. They waited for the halfway point of this trailer. We're a minute 19 seconds in before we see Method Man. I don't know if that was a good idea when it comes to marketing. But if you're in the movie theater and you're watching this, when you're stuck, when you don't have the short attention span and you see Method Man pop up, maybe that movie trailers are for people who are in the movies, right? They're not just for Twitter users. Maybe your attention span doesn't matter. You're trapped, you're stuck, and you see this and this may attract you. Does this trailer play before Sinners? I wonder.
Gunning for Cinder.
We can burn his ass down.
Hell yeah, now I can drink to that.
Time to go, lock, stock, and two smoking barrels.
She looks beautiful, and they weren't going for that. Do you think they were?
Hell yeah, now I can drink to that.
Time to
Do you think
go.
Kerry Washington in the dark here, Shadow Force, I guess?
Lock, stock,
Do you think that she looks attractive here, or is that just me thinking that just because of how she looks?
and two
I think they're not. They weren't even trying to make her attractive, but maybe you can say the body there on the silhouette, they were going for that. Maybe not.
smoking barrels. I saw, I came, I saw, I praised the Lord, and praised the Lord.
If it's a war you want with me, Jack, keep coming.
We gotta get the bad guys.
Are they assholes?
Hey!
That's funny. A little kid saying a swear word. Not ideal, not picture perfect, not not everything, but that was funny, I would say.
I saw, I praised the Lord, and praised the Lord.
You took the thing I love most. And isn't he the thing that you love most?
Yeah. We could probably see that coming, that the kid would be abducted.
I care about my family, and I will kill to protect them. What do you got?
2 rounds.
The action, the good looking. She's probably wearing this outfit the whole damn movie. I've seen her in every scene wearing this thing. So probably the whole movie happens in one day. And I did notice him wearing those same pants and top. So Omar Sy's character is wearing the same thing. So she asked him, what do you have? He said 2 rounds.
I got 1. Do you think maybe I should get the extra?
It's not an extra,
Yeah, but usually I'm the better shot.
usually.
Yeah.
Family over everything. That is a great message, right? We like that. It's still a whole bunch of gunshots and pow-pows and it's not perfect, but we love it.
This is Auntie and Unc.
Can we play some music?
You like Wu-Tang Clan, little man?
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
Hey, okay. They got the Wu-Tang audience. How many times are they going to make this kid swear, though? It says rated R down there. I don't know. You know what? Kids have heard these swear words before. Thoroughly enjoyed that live trailer reaction. So, let me not neglect the people who joined in here. Will Morgan. What's up, Will? What's up, Will? Long time. Just this new movie, Shadow Force. We got to give it a look. We got to give it a chance. And I think I have answered the question. Who asked for this? I'd say I'd ask for this. I have asked for not this precisely because I would, like, if I'm in charge of this, I have the sensibility to go, I don't want the kid to swear. I don't want to have that much shooting and guns and stuff. I'd rather have the family being chased for a different reason. I wouldn't put them as agents of the American government. I'd probably use another country. Like, there's changes I would have made, but this is all right. The jokes were there, the inside jokes, man, the meta Wu-Tang Clan jokes. You killing me? Are you kidding me? Kerry Washington is so pretty. I would agree. Shadow Force is my favorite Sega Genesis game. Didn't know. Vagram, he says, did you see this actor in Lupin? Don't know what you mean. Lupin, Omar Sy. Nah, I did not see him in Lupin. I didn't know what Lupin was. The first episode aired in January 8th of 2021. Sorry, I wasn't even sharing. There, Lupin. See? I know I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know nothing about that. I remember him as Bishop from Days of Future Past. Good eye. He was Bishop. Chill, I'm all in for you with black representation and all that. Sometimes I think you're too much of white people. The don't give a F about any of that, and you notice. Let me read that again. I don't think I understand. Chill, I'm all for you with black representation and all that. But sometimes I think you think too much of white people. They don't give a F about any of that. Well, okay, so everything I was telling you about representation, you can apply that. See, this is the way I want white people to see black families. I want them to see black families, but not associate with gun. I want white folk to see both parents there. I want white people to go to the movie theaters and spend just as much time, 2 hours, with a white family like they do with, I don't know, Mission Impossible coming up. But I also want them to see with black families. I want that. That's true. I want that. But representation is also meaningful for the group it's representing as well. To not teach yourself every time I go to the movies and I see dark skin, I'm only seeing a sports story or crime, jails and things related to bad things too. It's not only specifically like this is how I want white people to see black families. It's not only white. It works for everyone because we're all influenced by what media teaches us. Chinese people, we have stigmas, and not that I'm going to repeat any of them because that's the point of the representation and advocating for it, is not to reinforce the stereotypes, but the stereotypes exist for Chinese people too. Some are positive and funny, and some are not. But these stigmas exist, and it's because I don't live in China. It's because of what Chinese media has shown me. Media, including Chinese people, has shown me that I have these thoughts of Chinese people. It formed my opinion on them. Is action stupid? Action's stupid. Yeah, it is stupid. It's just dumb entertainment thing. Wu-Tang is forever. You going live every day. That's what I'm trying to do every single day. Let me hit that 45-minute mark. And Fatal J, if you watched my stream yesterday, I went longer than I wanted to go. And I think I had more words that I needed to have for the coverage I was doing. I was here to talk about Thunderbolts, talking about the new Avengers and how they changed the name. And I learned as a content creator, I'm learning with you guys can see it. I learned that when I had a 45-minute, I got to hit that, I was talking too much. It wasn't entertaining. I was repeating myself. And I was I was assessing myself after, because I do watch my streams back. And I was going, I'm doing too much and I'm forcing it too much. I'm not good, or this isn't for me, one or the other. And I was thinking maybe I can have a co-host with me, because when I had Mike with me, we went over 1 hour, which is longer than I wanted to go that Sunday. So I'm learning that maybe I need to have a partner each day. I can begin my live streams that are daily with the topic at hand, like how I just jumped straight into the trailer reaction and I just talked about it. And maybe 15 minutes into the video, and then I can invite a guest and we can just chit chat it up for the next half hour and knock it out. I need to figure out what my format is, because I can just say, yo, chill. You are not the live stream every day guy. You need substance. You need to have something that you truly passionate care about, chill, for you to hit live, for you to hit record and do content. And when you stop caring about it and you do a video you barely care about something, that's when you fail. Yes, I'm going live every day. Yes, there may be some slop right now and it may be hard to get through, or you're enjoying it. You guys like it that I read every single one of your chats. You may like that and enjoy that. Learn with me. Thank you. Appreciate you guys for being here with me on the ride. I'm trying not to say sober on an off day. Next, I'm trying to get better at staying away from trailers and going in blind. But this is looking pretty generic. I'm a big Kerry Washington fan, though. I respect that take. But I kind of agree with it, too, that it is just a generic action film. It's about a family. They're going to hold the kid hostage. While the premise may be generic, the stunts could be awesome. I saw them on a boat, right? What can we see in the water? on a speedboat, maybe there's a chase scene that we haven't seen already before. When they were in the jungle, I think Omar Sy was in some forest area with trees. What can he accomplish there? I saw some knives there too, right? How is that guy going to die? How cool could it be? The kid swearing, the jokes, the cameo of the rapper. I've seen all this stuff before. But if you can do it good, why not? Like horror movie is pretty, horrors are, what do you call it? Like it's the same thing over and over again. A horror film is just, okay, someone gets scared. Sorry, somebody's texting me about something important. I'm sorry. A horror movie is repetitive. And a horror film, we still show up for those. The latest vampire, the ghosts, the latest, like we still come to those things. Why can't we do the same thing with action movies? Unfortunately, Sinners is out. And if you're thinking about the audience that may be more attracted to Kerry Washington, I know Sully streams. I know my good buddy from Massachusetts is probably in the rarity of Kerry Washington, aesthetically pleasing appreciation of her. I think that the Sinners fandom and the noise they're making is going to eat a lot into the opening weekend for Omar Sy and Kerry Washington. And that's too bad. It's just bad timing that someone else's success may cost this movie. Because if you're just going to the movie theaters on a regular night, what am I going to see? There's action movies out there. Which action movie? I can see the Marvel action movie, or I can see the Shadow Force movie. Well, thank God the Marvel action movie sucks, right? So I'm going to go see Shadow Force. But Sinners is just the talk of town. And if we haven't seen it yet in the last 3 weeks, we're more likely to check out Sinners as of me and my date than we are to go and see Omar Sy and Kerry Washington and Shadow Force. Maybe the trailer just covers the first part. If they did it right, the trailer doesn't cover a lot. Yeah, most trailers do only cover the first half of the movie, and we get very little from the second half. I remember Mandalorian and how sometime in season 2, sometime around episode 4, I realized everything in the trailer we've already seen. The trailer did not show footage from episode 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, 5, 6, 7, or 8. They only showed half of the TV show during trailers. So if you're wise, it's how you do it. Then you can give the audience a good experience coming out of the movie theaters because they haven't experienced it all yet. If I pull up with the Kerry Washington, will that be an enormous scandal? Who's that girl? Kerry Washington. I think she's married to a football player. Main character in Scandal, yes. Shadow Info. Oh, mama, loved that show. Everyone loved that show. Chill. Why hate on guns? Just because of the black characters? It's because of what there's been too much of. Boys in the Hood. I don't even have to name these things, right? Just associating violence with a dark skin, or a human being killing machine, a little mechanism that if you just pull it, somebody on the other end dies if you're pointing it to them. That destruction and the skin color that is very melanated, I don't want to always be associated so often. And I'd prefer a movie that uses anything else. I'd prefer a movie that isn't violent, but that's just me being picky. That's my preference. I hope that explains it. So let's think about fear and think about danger, think about hatred, and think about what it could stoke. And I am thinking about white folks. Do I want white folks seeing black people in movie theaters as oh, there's the ones with the perfect shots. Yeah, they're good at that gun stuff, aren't they? I don't want them to associate dark skin with proficiency with killing. That could stoke a whole lot more worse things. For that reason, I guess. And other reasons. Shadow is a theme in Thunderbolts. You're hilarious. America is marked with guns. From Batman to Cop A. America's superpower is guns. I know where you're coming from. I just don't think it's reality at the time. Doesn't mean we don't need people like you out there advocating for it. I hope you go live every day. I won't always be here to watch, but it's nice to know you're doing it. It helps, makes you a better broadcaster. Look, I think they're doing secondary reveals in Marvel. They should promote a certain way for the first 3 days of the movie. And then as soon as we hit that Monday or Tuesday, now you can promote with spoilers. Now you can get people who didn't want to see it right away. Probably half your audience you were going to get have seen the movie by the time we get to Tuesday. Go all out. Spoilers. Make people have to see this movie. Oh, you missed out, right? That's why you're supposed to go. You had Thursday previews, you had Friday, and then you had Saturday and Sunday. You still didn't see that movie? Bro, we're not holding back. We're trying to get these people out in here. Those casuals who need the little extra push, we need them. And you got to make. And if you're talking about marketing, there's a rule of 6 impressions. You need to make 6 impressions with somebody before they make their purchase. That's like the average. So go hard with your 6 impressions, because someone might like skip past the trailer on their phone if it's the same one they've been seeing over the last month. But you hit them with something new, like a reveal of a spoiler in the movie, you might actually get them. I love to see us in different genres beside Hood Crimes and Tyler Perry. Yeah, they reveal Sentry in Spider-Man 3, and they do the real Sentry. It is a nice exchange with you live in the chat. Appreciate you always with your productive comments also. I like Carrie, but this is a Prime Video movie. Ouch. Thunderbolts doesn't suck. I don't want to review the movie, but if you've listened to my past analysis of stories, things where they leave reality and they go to like a spiritual world, or this is a physical manifestation of what's happening in people's heads, that doesn't work for me. I don't like D-listers. I also don't like movies. Anyways, I'm reviewing the movie now. No, it just didn't. It wasn't my taste. Sinners was dope. Can't get. Everyone's been saying that about Dusk Till Dawn. And maybe you want to dig up my mama and slap her in the. I'm only speaking the truth. Spirit to Cap or Batman. If you don't have a super, you need guns, Mr. Frank Castle. Yeah, you're kind of right. Roberta, you don't watch Shadow Force. They have a child in here who swears, says the bad words. He knows all the songs to Wu-Tang. You can't see Shadow Force on the weekend. Nope. Unless you can like break your little no swearing rule, then you can check it out. A couple more people could be cool and hit the like button. Yeah, that would help. That would be nice. If we're talking box office, I can just move over to box office, okay? So the answer to the question of the live stream is who asked for this, and is Shadow Force worth seeing this weekend? I'm saying yes. I'm saying you go and give Lionsgate your $10, your $11. We'll get your popcorn. It's worth seeing. More of these makes Kerry Washington higher demand. It boosts Omar Sy. It helps out in ways that are going to be beneficial in the future, in the long run. It's not perfect, but it doesn't need to be perfect. It's good enough. So I want to show you something first. Solo, a Star Wars story from 2018, is a film had a domestic opening of 84 million. Because its Monday drop was minus 23. Oh, it was a holiday. Damn. Solo doesn't work. Let's try this again. We're going to show you a movie, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And this film grossed about $72 million, similar to what Thunderbolts grossed in its first opening weekend. It finished with 208. With that alone, we can estimate that if you gross 72 million in your opening and your domestic should end up at 208, right? Their Monday drop was minus 57%. Unfortunately, though, the reason why I don't think the $72 that Thunderbolts grossed will translate to 208 is because their drop for Thunderbolts was minus 71%, not 50, 71% drop. So while it did open to $74 million, I don't expect the domestic to drop to reach 200 million. I don't think that's it. Now, they did a shift in marketing, but I don't think they've shifted quite enough. That's movie math for you. And when we talk about worldwide, if you just double the domestic, because the international is 52% of the box office, the domestic is 47% of the box office. If we just double that and it doesn't reach 200 million, then it's not going to reach $400 million worldwide. That's math. That's what Thunderbolts has taught me. I'm going to show you. Here's another movie, Maleficent, which came out and it grossed $69 million. Maleficent did $69 million in its opening weekend. That's what it opened to. Much like Thunderbolts opened to 74. It had a domestic gross of 241. So people showed up. Wow, that's interesting. What was the Monday drop? The Monday drop was minus 68%. So with that logic, which is minus 68, that's not very far off from minus 71. With that logic, maybe there is hope that this movie can gross 241 million, and then if you double 241 million for Thunderbolts, it would reach somewhere near $500 million. Okay? With that math being done, I showed you both versions. Both there's the it could go bad and it could go good, and we reach $500 million. Your best case scenario is $500 million. Like that's like overperforming. That's like, oh, it's just like Maleficent. People like it. That's not a good place to be at, unfortunately, for Thunderbolts. And if it's the worst case scenario, like I think, it doesn't even reach 400 million. And I'm leaning towards the it's gonna suck, it's bad. I will cut my hair if it grosses $400 million. Like I think this is a terrible, terrible plan to make a film starring Yelena Belova and John Walker and Red Guardian and go and people are going to come to see this movie. Let's put a $180 million budget behind that. Why would you ever do that? I knew about this years prior. So when I saw that, I wanted to just talk about the numbers. Let's get back into numbers though. After we see what Roberta had to say for me with the little super chat love.
Money.
I'll send my girlfriend. I'm not allowed to fall out in public. Listen, go. You have to go and see it. There will be a review on it on my channel. So, haha. I'm gonna try to get the same movie buddy that I went to see one of them days, if I can. So you think Mother's Day will affect Thunderbolts next weekend? No. No, I think Mother's Day has an effect, but not enough to I won't. I gotta watch what I point at, and I don't want to point at Mother's Day. So short answer is no. Maybe Shadow Force is a black movie. Whites can go watch Minecraft for the 67th time. You're killing me. And then we got King Sport Cow, who's becoming a channel member. One more time, appreciate the love from channel memberships. So Thunderbolts is better than Cap? Cap? No? Do you mean Brave New World? Oh, it's about the same thing. It's about the same thing. But I can tell you I cared more about Falcon, and I enjoyed his superhero fighting. Like he's on his wings and he's in the water as he's fighting the Red Hulk. I enjoyed more of the superhero stuff there because this is strictly human beings who, you know, maybe they can get attacked and they're very durable, but it's not as fantastic to me. Thunderbolts didn't speak to me like in any way, but I respect everyone who's here who thinks that, you know, the MCU's back. What a great movie. This is what we needed more of. If that's your take, that's your take. I can only give you my perspective. Wow, truth. Lauren says that the Mother's Day weekend, that means less people than Lilo and Stitch and then Mission Impossible. Yeah, we still got the threat of Sinners happening. People celebrate Mother's Day on Sunday. The Friday and Saturday should be fine. Thunderbolts was a good movie. I liked it a lot. Respect. I don't care about Thunderbolts' box office. I liked it. The end. Yelena can get it. Kingsport with the $2 super chat. Which wrestler you want to have? Shane?
Here we go.
Dollar. Keeping going live every day. I send a super when I'm here. You're too kind, man. You're too kind. I appreciate the love, man. Super chats are so crazy because it's just people are watching and they're like, we like this guy so much. We want to pay him money. Continue. You provide entertainment for us. Like, it's so cool. It's so cool that like you guys are leaving money. I like when people watch ads. I like, right before it says skip ad before that 5 seconds. I like when people stick around all 30 seconds and then I can get probably like 6 cents or something. And it doesn't come at any cost of you except for your precious time. But when super chats come into the equation, people are just like, here's money. Roberta just said, let me make a little joke about my girl. I'll send my girlfriend. I'm not allowed to file out in public. And then she just sends me money. That's warm, it's loved. Thank you, Kings. I'll keep going every day. Look, if I get to where I reach a wall, I'll not. But today, even it's 11 p.m. Eastern time, and I went all day. Like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna stream? I don't want to waste people's time. I just forced myself to do it. If I reach that wall next 2 weeks from now, then I will have reached that wall. But my plan is just to be consistent and just kind of force myself. Maybe I'll improve and see if I can be a good streamer. A good daily streamer, because this is different. Doing a stream with Pantheon? Are you kidding me? Bouncing off of Marcus, just letting him go, and he's gonna say something that's gonna spark my brain. Marcus is like core to the Pantheon, like the stream that we do on Thursday. I love Marcus. I can't do that solo, or I'm currently not good at doing it solo. I'm fine, but I'm not good at doing it. Most people take their mothers out to dinner on Mother's Day, which was the Sunday. Johnny says box office didn't tell this whole story. Denzel never had a movie gross over 400 million. That doesn't change. He's one of the greatest actors, and lots of his movies are classics. It doesn't tell the whole story. Yeah, that's irrelevant. Denzel's Washington and his box office success has no bearing on his talent, on the awards, on his cultural impact, because a lot of these movies go on TV, go on streaming, and people can see the movies there and have an appreciation for these guys' talents. Yeah, the grosses of this box office don't affect anything. Like Jim Carrey can make a movie that doesn't make a lot of money, and then when we see the Jim Carrey movie on TV, we all love him, and like he doesn't lose anything at all because the box office didn't work. Maybe DVD home video sales will unbalance it. And in today's era, even Kevin Hart could be in a lot of like junk movies. I mean, movies that don't make money, but because they're good, Kevin Hart's star power is just as bright as it was 5 years ago, regardless of, I don't even know what his latest box office movie was and if it did well or if it didn't do well. Yep. I totally agree with you. I don't get ads, homie, premium account. Okay. Denzel is one of the only actors in existence who I would be stoked to see in person, like at an airport or something. The Rock. You give me The Rock, I'll be stoked to see him, and it's mostly for his wrestling stuff. But other actors, I don't know, maybe Hayden Christensen. Who do I love as an actor? We go, oh, it's you. Who? The Wayans brothers, they're all good. I'd be hyped. And I'd be like appreciative to see these people in real life, but most of them are pro wrestlers. Celebrity starstruck, like, oh, I don't know. Let me think of a woman who I would be interested in. Like, oh, it's you. Who's a woman actress? You guys can put yours in the live chat too. Your male and then your female of an actor who you would just be gaga for. Kayfabe lover, this guy. You know me. Wayans brothers never stop putting in that work. Who do we got? Help me out. Give me a name. Well, I watch a lot of content with voice acting. If the voice actor D. Bradley Baker showed up, I would love that. Or Kevin Conroy, now that he's died. But I would love to see him in real life. Idris Elba. I'd like to see him. Or Damson Idris, and I have a whole lot to say. I said Michael B. Jordan, and I would say, hey, I'm Chillmonger. Hey, Michael B. Jordan. I loved you in Hardball. You played Jamal. Just talk to him about that. I would like it, but not like The Rock. Like that's not where I go. It's you. Hey, you know when people say, "Would you rather have $1 million or dinner with Jay-Z?" No one's on that level for me. No one's on that level for me. Idris, yeah. Let's show you one more thing. I'm looking at the box offices, so I'd be remiss if I did not show you more of box offices that didn't quite exactly work out. I looked and I found Twisters that came out earlier this year. It opened to 81 million, so that's about 7 more million than Thunderbolts just did. Twisters grossed 81 million and it finished at 267. If we double that and we could have a Thunderbolt movie, that grosses $540 million. You see, its Monday drop was only minus 57% instead of minus 71%, the way Thunderbolts has done. These are important to look at, to monitor and track, to understand what numbers mean, what percentage drops mean, and how we can project the future. The box office opening weekend of only $74 million was trouble. While other movies would be happy to get 74 million, because the budget was so high for Thunderbolts New Avengers, the budget made it so that 74 was a red alarm for Marvel. Marvel Studios needs to step up their movie making and not do Thunderbolts. Can you imagine if we just had an X-Men movie taking place in like Fantastic Four is in another universe, X-Men in another universe. These are probably the X-Men who are going to integrate with the rest of our Marvel heroes. But before they do that, and before the big incursion coming in Doomsday and Secret Wars, these are just the X-Men, and they have a 2-hour adventure, and it culminates with said incursion. Find out more when you watch the first Avengers movie, Doomsday, next summer. We could have had that plot. You could have spent the same amount of money, 180 million. You could have used those actors, found them, put a story together, and had provided fans with something that they would have liked to see. And you chose not to. And Thunderbolts to me represents not listening, an arrogance of thinking like after like the duds, they thought like we can still make Thunderbolts. So you guys had a lot of time to cancel this production. And I think now in 2025, after this, Feige knows I can't play around. I saw My Time to Shine Hello recently put out a Twitter tweet, an X post. I don't know why I said Twitter tweet. Here's my Twitter. He said Halliburton is the fourth H. I'm so funny. Here. My Time to Shine Hello. It said, I guess we're back to the days when only A-list characters can get people to show up at the theater. That's what My Time to Shine Hello said. Underneath that, I said, yeah. So recast T'Challa and stop thinking that aging up his son will work. And a couple of people liked what I said there. If My Time to Shine Hello is a Marvel executive in disguise, as I always theorize, then they probably realize that only A-list characters can get people to show up to the movie theaters. Yeah. So use your A-list characters. You have Iron Man and Captain America and Hulk and Thor and Spider-Man and even Black Panther if you use him right. You have Deadpool now, who's like part of the team that you have acquired. I wouldn't call Fantastic Four A-list or Doctor Strange, but there's like 2 more right there. I'm gonna run on the fingers. And then Avengers. That's 10. 10 brands that people will see, bro. They'll actually pay for. And instead, you're not giving us those. After this run, after we get through the TV shows and the Vision Quests and we're done with all that, whatever you do, Kevin Feige, coming out of this phase, this saga, this this ending point, this completion, is how I'm expecting it to be great. I'm expecting it to be a collection of all of the knowledge and data that you've attained, and you go, okay, this is what people want. The black audiences didn't show up for Wakanda Forever the way that they did for Black Panther. They also didn't show up for Brave New World as much as we would have wanted them to. Why not? Why isn't Wonder Man a success? Why aren't they talking about it on all the podcasts that talked about Sinners? What's the difference? Oh, people know Wonder Man is a white superhero. Okay. What's wrong with Ironheart? Why isn't that working? Why didn't the ratings hit like they did for maybe Falcon and Winter Soldier? Or like he'll learn. He'll go, okay, maybe I need to listen. Let me tap in with the Black YouTube community or Twitter or whatever space that it is. Let me figure out what's going on and put my finger on the pulse. Clearly, Nate Moore wasn't. Who's my next like liaison? Who's my Kendrick Lamar? I'm what the culture's feeling. Like, who's gonna be that for me? How do we do Blade properly? People want Blade. Yeah, you don't even need to put 180 million behind Blade. It's a vampire slicing and dicing movie. You give 130 million dollars to Blade, 120 million dollars to Blade. I would say that's sufficiently funded because Sinners was 90 million, right? And they use IMAX cameras. I'd say you can nail it. Go get Omar Sy and Kerry Washington. You get the right cast. You can make a Blade movie pop. Everyone would love to see the Blade movie. You will be profitable because you're only spending 130 million and you need to triple the budget usually. So 130 times 3 is 39. You'd have to gross $390 million to be profitable. I think you could do that with a Blade movie. I'm fairly confident. Brave New World made 390. It actually made 400 million and 14. You can do it. So use that like free feedback. But who is he listening to? Like, which streamers is he taking his advice from? Hello, Onzo Bigfoot Entertainment. They've been deported. What do you mean they've been deported? I'm legit tired of hearing the name My Time to Shine Hello. F that guy. My Time to Shine Hello needs to be listened to. That is Kevin Feige in disguise, bro. That's why. Wakanda Forever 859 is a box office success, says Kevin Davis. Kevin Davis is an op, and Kevin Davis was here that time I opened Deadline's box office breakdown and showed you that the theatrical revenue that they attained from the 859 was only $419 million. And the budget, the marketing expenses for this movie were super high. They far exceeded $419 million. The movie did not make money off of its box office gross. It was math that I was applying. We need to activate to make that happen about Blade, though. It should be activated, shouldn't it, though? He came out in 2019 with a hat. It was Mahershala Ali. That's an A-list actor. Should have been done, but it's not. With Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars, and Battle Worlds and stuff, maybe it wasn't the time to do a Blade. Maybe the actor strike had to do with part of it. Maybe. There's a whole lot of maybes. I'm not going to give him that excuse, though. He did kill T'Challa, so I can't give too many excuses for this guy. I'm always going to be woke here on this YouTube channel, and keep in mind those things. Speaking of being woke, we've reached the end of my live stream, and I would like to end things on a woke note. We cut to my girl. Tell us about what happened in America with the CIA. What was Operation Garden Plot and what they did in the 1960s?
Because in the 1960s and 70s, while the U.S. was busy bragging about democracy, they had an actual military plan to round up Black revolutionaries,
Really?
crush uprisings, and silence anyone who dared to fight for equality. It was called Operation Garden Plot.
Yep.
Not a conspiracy theory, not a what-if
Not a theory.
scenario. A declassified government strategy with real plans.
They declassified this, so she's not making this up. And if you just think that the late leaders kept on dying for no reason or coincidence, or they went bad, too bad this guy went wrong, and the government had to intervene, it was a plot. It was pre-planned.
Real tactics, and real consequences. And if you think that sounds like some Cold War propaganda from a bygone era, you might want to take a closer look at today's headlines. Here's what happened.
What?
By the 1960s, America was being forced to reckon with itself. The civil rights movement was gaining momentum. Black Panthers were patrolling their own neighborhoods and openly challenging the police. Anti-war protests were shutting down entire cities. And the U.S. government, they weren't about to let that slide.
Nope.
They came up with Operation Garden Plot, a military plan designed to monitor Black revolutionaries, suppress protests before they turned into movements, and if necessary, round people up and detain them in military camps. Yes, actual detention centers for American citizens on American soil. Because apparently the idea of Black people fighting for freedom was a bigger threat to the U.S. government than the actual Klan. And that's where the Garden Plot tactics came in.
Repeat that for me. It was a bigger threat than the actual Klan. it shows you how white this country, your guys' country, not mine's, your guys' country really is.
Mass surveillance of activists, infiltration of Black organizations by undercover informants, turning local police into military-style enforcers, using the National Guard to suppress uprisings with force, labeling Black leaders as agitators, and putting them on government watch lists.
Can you imagine if we had the technology? Maybe they did. Maybe they did have the technologies that we had today. Usually law enforcement and military create these and they have access to a lot of these higher tech things for surveillance before, or internet or other things before it reaches the common everyday person. The ability to just Hollywood's VFX, everything came from that quarter of science and technology and development, and then it was slowly it reached the public.
And when the government wasn't just spying, they were sabotaging. The FBI used garden plot tactics to harass MLK, Malcolm X, and Fred Hampton. They planted informants in the Black Panther Party just to stir up internal conflicts. They even worked with local police to assassinate leaders before they got too powerful. And the worst part is that these tactics never went away.
Nope.
They never had to fully activate Garden Plot because they built a system where they wouldn't have to. They replaced military detention camps with mass incarceration.
You know, she's also not talking about the distractions that we have, the sports, the entertainment industry, and some of those things which are making us do. We fight on the internet, don't we? All the time, we fight over Kendrick Lamar and Drake. It has occupied our time when we're not so much on like progressing. We're not so much thinking about what's going on with Burkina Faso and how they're gonna create a currency backed off of their own gold. And they're kicking out French and any colonizing threat. We should be talking about that and being like, finally, this is it. Let's back that. Let's support Chad, who recently, just as of yesterday, kicked out French. They're on their self-determination, liberating. You know what I mean? Young leader of the country. We should be talking about Chad, not chat. We should be about Chad, not chat.
They swapped FBI surveillance vans with social media monitoring. They stopped calling them agitators and started calling them thugs.
Okay.
Look at Ferguson. Look at the BLM protests. Look at how quickly the government deploys riot police, tanks, and mass arrests.
They could not have all of them protests from 2020 be fruitful. They had to wash it and label it as destructive, as ineffective, as angry. They couldn't allow you to realize that your voice and your protests work. Boycotting is a form of protest, brother. I don't know why people think they don't work. They do. Target, continue. Walmart, continue. Amazon, if you can, continue. Don't be spending money on these guys. They pulled back diversity, equity, and inclusion. And that's a reminder to myself too. There are products that I use that are in the chill mansion right now, which I probably shouldn't be supporting because of what they think, because of the people in charge, what they do with their money. So it's a reminder to myself too.
The second Black people start demanding justice, that's Garden Plot in action. It was never just a Cold War contingency plan. It was a blueprint, and they're still using it. The next time you hear about a Black-led movement getting infiltrated, criminalized, or violently suppressed, just know that this country has been planning it for decades. They never stopped treating Black liberation as a national security threat. They just got better at hiding it behind the word order.
Boom, boom. And that content creator's name is Ashley the Barrow. Let me see here. Ashley doesn't have the Baroness. Ashley the Baroness. I've seen her in a couple things before. Respect to her. Had to make sure that was how we were going to close out today's daily live stream. Appreciate you all for being here. Chill out. Stay woke.